So I'm going to share with you the 3 tips that you're going to want to take to heart. This is going to help you understand what top final expense telesales producers never do. It's so important to be deliberate, to not make certain mistakes that can cost you a lot of money. And that is important when you're in this industry. So if you're taking notes, I'm going to give 3 to you, 3 things that top final expense telesales agents never do, but also the fix so that you can find greater levels of success. So thank you for joining me today. Here we go. First off, tip number 1, top final expense telesales insurance agents do not wing it. We know that we'll get it wrong. It doesn't matter how good you are. The moment that you start winging things on your own, not focusing on your script, you're now in a place that's very unsafe. It's not going to help you find success because it's insanely important that you stay consistent. So a top final expense insurance agent will not wing it. They're going to do it right. They're going to have a script that keeps them very tight, keeps them target oriented on the path. A lot of insurance agents, when they start off with final expense telesales, they're not trained properly. They're using these scripts that are really sloppy. And what happens is they start the call with, "Hi, Mrs. Johnson, how are you today?" And you don't get a second chance to make a positive and powerful first impression. This is very important. Top insurance agents know this. And when you say, "Hi, Mrs. Johnson, how are you today?" what happens is the person on the other end of the phone is like, "Ooh, I got this funny feeling. You're a salesman. What's this about?" And you don't mean wrong as a new agent, but when you're starting the call with, "Hi, Mrs. Johnson, how are you today?" it bleeds insecurity and it's not what you're wanting. So you've got to be careful here. How do you come across this phone? You don't get a second chance to make a positive and powerful first impression, and top insurance producers know this. So never, and I mean never, start off your call with, "Hi, Mrs. Johnson, how are you today?" Don't do it. You've got to be deliberate here. It's important that you have a good script. It's your roadmap. It's your recipe. If you were baking a cake, you'd follow a recipe if you want it to taste good. If you were making cookies, if you were making a lasagna or anything, you must follow a recipe if you want to be consistent with how it's going to taste at the end. And top final expense telesales insurance agents take this to heart. They do not mess around with the recipe. If they've got a proven power script like what we possess at jasonfinalexpense.com, we know that we're going to follow it and we're going to find consistent results. No different than you won't get consistent results if you're just throwing stuff in a bowl, spinning it around in a blender, adding some liquid and hope that something good happens. Most times it's not going to taste real great. And that's what happens with a lot of these scripts out there when we're winging it, or maybe you're using a free Frankenstein script, which is just a face-to-face script. They've thrown some ingredients in a bowl, hit the button, and hope it works for you. Be careful of a script that's not success-oriented. It's very important that you've got a good recipe if you're making a cake, and it's important you've got a good script if you want to be massively successful with final expense telesales. More important that you may know, it's powerful. And by the way, I do run a national insurance agency at jasonfinalexpense.com. I'm very blessed to partner with some of the most powerful insurance agents across this nation, selling life, Medicare, and annuities face to face. But yes, in the telespace, and I do recruit agents across the nation, and free resources available at jasonfinalexpense.com. Always there for your taking. But top final expense telesales agents know that the recipe for success is real intellectual property, real power scripts, not these free Frankenstein scripts and hope this thing turns out okay. You got to have a good recipe if you want to have real powerful and the best chance for profitable results in this industry. Don't wing it. Don't just start spitting stuff out of your mouth. You won't be as successful. You've got to write down the recipe if you want success. When it comes to final expense telesales, you've got to have a good proven power script, true intellectual property, so that you can stay consistent. And that's how you're going to hopefully capitalize as a result. So don't wing it. Top final expense telesales agents do not wing it. I know every time that I attempt to wing it, and I have run big call centers. I have done this industry, the insurance world here, as well as telesales, over 2+ decades, 20+ years with my telesales background. It's insane what I've done, but I am so laser focused on following my own script. It's important. The moment that I start winging it, guess what? My sales go down. If you want to be successful, you got to embrace a boring business. You want to be a beast? Follow the script. You'll find more success because it's your roadmap. It's your recipe for success. But if you don't follow it, disasters happen, just like in your kitchen. If you start throwing crap in a bowl and go, I don't need that recipe, I'm just going to throw stuff in here, it'll taste funny. Your results will be funny too if you're just winging it. So top insurance agents know to not wing it. We get it right. We follow a script. We stay tight, and we capitalize as a result because we know the recipe. We trust the recipe. It's consistent, and it pays off in the end. So very important here. Don't wing it. You'll get it wrong. Top insurance agents, we know this. Tip number 2 is top final expense. Telesales agents do not fail to ask for the business. And failures in this industry will not find ways to ask for the business. They're going to maybe give you a price and say, you want to buy? Okay, see ya. Sorry, I feel bad about myself right now. And I'm not saying it feels good. Top final expense telesales agents do not fail to ask for the business, but failures will. You've got to lean in. You will lose 100% of the business that you fail to ask for. I promise you, you've got to assume the business. You've got to have, first off, a proven power script. Don't wing it. You're going to get this wrong every time. And even if you get it right by luck on a call or two, it's going to go caustic for you. Your well will be poisoned. You're not going to be insanely consistent because you don't have a roadmap for success. You don't have a proven power script. You don't have the recipe. Bad recipe, bad result. Just like a free Frankenstein script normally gives you a failed agent. It's crazy important that you've got a good recipe, a good roadmap if you want to be a real beast. It's crazy important, but you've got to never, and I mean never fail to ask for the business. Never fail to ask for the business, even if you're like, this person is not going to buy from me. Don't ever prejudge a prospect. This is a powerful tip for you. Never, and I mean never, prejudge a prospect. You've got to always assume the business, but more importantly, top final expense telesales producers always find ways to bring value. That's the very thing that is so critical to capitalization with final expense telesales is bringing value. They want value. It's not just about the price, buy. Don't get me wrong, that's a byproduct, but you as a top producer will never fail to ask for the business, but failures will never be one that constantly asks for the business. They're going to constantly have a whole lot of, oh, I didn't ask. I gave them a price though. No, you've got to ask for the business, and failures will always find an excuse on why they didn't ask for the business or why they didn't buy. Top final expense telesales producers will always assume the business, and the failures will always lose 100% of the business that they didn't ask for. Ask, not demand. Ask. It's very important that you're trained well, but do not fail to ask for the business. You want to be a beast? Lean forward. Find ways to bring value. That's your solution here, but always ask. What's the worst they say? No. You've already got the no train coming at you. You might as well look upon the lights and enjoy the show, right? It's important with success that you ask for the business. So I hope you enjoy this content today. Tip number 3 that I'll share with you: top final expense telesales agents never, and I mean never, give up. Do not give up. Final expense telesales agents that take it to the next level, that make $1 million roundtable, that make way more than their competitors, that stick and stay and have massive success. Let me share with you, they show up. They show up when everybody else gives up, when everybody else goes home, when everybody takes the loser's limp and licks their wounds and hangs it up early. And sometimes you end up taking yourself out of this industry because you have a couple calls that go caustic. It's not fun to get told no every day. I feel you out there. I've done this a long time. I've done telesales combined with my insurance background over 2+ decades, 20+ years. Let me share with you, I've heard a whole lot of no's. I've heard a whole lot of go somewhere that ain't heaven. I've been hung up on. I've experienced the pain. But if you want the profitability, you've got to swim through the sea of pain to find powerful growth. There is pain before the gain. And if you want to get everything you desire by becoming a top final expense telesales producer, never, and I mean never, give up. You're sometimes one call away from your breakthrough moment. You're 1 week away from finding the wealth, 1 week can change you in this industry. Look at these agent interviews and testimonials at the end of this video, and you will find the very thing that they have found, and that is by being consistent with proven power scripts, always assuming the business, always bringing massive value, helping these great prospects. They have become powerful, but if they gave up, they would never attain the success that they have. Top final expense telesales agents never, and I mean never, give up. They don't give up on themselves. They don't give up on their prospects. They know powerful ways of bringing value to them by utilizing intellectual property, by utilizing proven power scripts, proven platforms to help our consumers. It's about serving them, and the byproduct is the sale. The better that you are at bringing value to them, the better you will be as an insurance agent. It's so important to grasp. Never give up. Never hang it up early. Work on helping more people with more engagement. Don't hang up early. Show up. If you want to win, you got to first off show up. If you want a chance of winning the game, get better. You've got to get better. You're getting one no closer to your win. You want to make the wealth, you got to get whooped in this industry sometimes. I know that doesn't sound great, doesn't sound sexy or snappy or glamorous. This industry looks like hard work. It's a 4-letter word, but that 2-letter word in the O, no, is something that knocks out a lot of insurance agents. But the top final expense telesales agents do not take no for an answer, as in, if you tell me no, I know what to say when you do. And I know now how to bring more value and how to restructure the script to bring more value to them and find more success. No doesn't always mean no. No sometimes means I don't know enough to trust you. No sometimes means I don't know that you can help me yet. No sometimes means you don't know how to handle me or help me because you haven't brought me value, which is why I can't see what you have, which may be in my best interest. If you want to be a beast, you got to know how to handle the no without a feeling of, oh, that hurt. You can't let it hurt you. You can't let it impact you. You are here to bring value to them. That's the very thing I want to get across to you. Top final expense telesales agents do not give up. They give more value. They give more to the consumer when they're told no. They know what to do with the no. Bring value, bring value, bring value. Don't fail. Don't fail to ask for the business. Go back to tip number 2. Always assume that they want what you have, but you have to dig in. What is their problem? What caused them to fill that card out? What caused them, the prospect, what caused them to push the button? This is powerful to grasp. Don't give up. Don't hang it up early when you're told no. You are one no closer to getting the yes. And the yes feels so good. The yes will remove your stress, but you've got to know what to do with the no's. It's powerful. And if you've not acquired good training, if you've not acquired good power scripts to handle final expense telesales is such an art form. It's not this boxing match. If you want to be a beast, you've got to learn the art of it, just like golf. And some insurance agents, they're giving these free scripts, almost no training. Here's my website, book a calendar. I hope you can talk to me sometime. And it's like a golfer that gets a club that could be a great club, and they're just hacking. They're playing this military golf, right, left, right, left, right. They're all over the place. They got a good club, but they don't realize you've got to let the club do the work. That's why it's so important that if you have a good power script, you've got to be trained and coached and honed on how to use it. It is just like golf. It's all about finesse, not force. And when you find more ways to bring value to them, you will find greater levels of success. So to recap, final expense agents that are at the top of their game, they never wing it. They follow proven platforms, proven power scripts. They follow the recipe, and that helps them get results. Tip number 2, top final expense telesales agents never fail to ask for the business, but failures in this industry will always find ways to not ask for the business. They'll give price and then they'll walk and wonder why they don't get the wealth. Just saying. But top final expense telesales agents never, and I mean never, fail to ask for the business. They're beasts. They're the best. And that's why they never give up. They never give up. Tip number 3, they never give up. When everyone else shows up and then leaves, they last, they stick, they stay, they serve. There is no way they're going home early. They're going to help their prospects get what they want. They'll attain more profitability than everybody that goes home early, everybody that licks their wounds and won't last in this industry. This industry is a time-tested and noble profession. More six-figure income earners and seven-figure income earners are a result of this amazing industry. But over 90% of the agent force will fail because they failed to understand the importance of a proven roadmap, proven power scripts, proven platforms, a good solid recipe to help them attain hopefully amazing results. But tip number two, they also will give up way too early. They fail to ask for the business and wonder why they got beat up. It's because they weren't trained sometimes to translate the script, translate the conversation to what your client wants to hear. It's all about singing the right tune and serving them in the right way. That's how you find the real wealth. You've got to uncover the problem, and then if your product fits, you're going to find more success because now you're a problem solver, not a pushy salesman. But never, and I mean never give up. Never give up. Keep showing up. Outwork your competitors. Outlast them. Stick and stay. Believe in yourself. Buy leads, and you can become powerful. I hope this helps you. If I can serve you in any way at all, reach out at jasonfinalexpense.com. I appreciate you watching. And if you have any content you'd like me to hit a topic on, put it in the comments below. Hope you like this. Hope it helps you today. Keep being powerful. You have what it takes. We'll see you soon.